Hi guys, my name is Gavin, and today I'll be showing you how to make an enemy respawn point with Python in the Blender game engine. So I'm just going to get started. So to start off, let's right click on this camera and hit X delete, and then right click on this light and hit X delete. Let's then go from defaults to game logic and go from Blender render to Blender game. On this cube in the middle, let's right click on it, and let's rename it to player, like so, like that. And let's give it character physics. So change it from static to character and click actor. And if we hit P now, we see he drops. I'm then going to click on the materials tab and let's click as, and let's give it the color of blue. That'll work. And I'm going to move it up just a little bit. So click on the blue arrow and drag it up. Now I'm going to add a floor for a game by doing spacebar and then add, and let's do plane. Plane. That'll work. On this plane, I'm going to hit S and 5. Actually S and 3. So we've now got a fairly big field for our cube, and I'll right click on our cube and move it back to here. So if we hit P now, we see he just drops. Let's now add an enemy into the game by doing spacebar and then add a cube again. Let's add a cube. And on this cube, what we're going to do is change its name to enemy, like so. Now I'm going to apply a red coloring to it. So red, like so. Red. Alright. Let's give it character physics. And we can see if we hit play now, it just drops, or hit P, it drops. Alright, that's going to work. Now what we're going to do is make it track to our player by doing add sensor always, click these first three dots, and do add actuator edit objects, change it from add object to track to, and let's put player. I'm going to connect these right here. Next, what we're going to do is apply motion for it. So let's do add actuator and motion. And let's do simple motion 0.2 on the y-axis. We can tell that this is working because if we hit P now, you can see it's going to move towards our player from no matter what position we put it at. Alright, so now that we know that's working, what we're going to do is create a little script for our cube. But first, let's get some sensors and actuators working. So let's do add sensor always. Click these first three dots, and let's do a collision sensor. Collision. Let's name it collision all lowercase. Let's click tap, and let's put with the property player. We haven't added that property to our player yet, but this is going to be okay. Let's add a controller in Python right here, and connect this. Let's now go to templates, Python, and then game logic simple. Like so. Let's click this right here. Alright, let's delete the portion that I've highlighted. Hit Control and scroll up on your mouse to make your text larger. Now I'm going to rename this script as enemyscripts.py. I'm going to add that right here. Alright, I'm now going to get my collision sensor within our script by doing collision going to equal contact sensors collision, like that. Before we continue though, let's right click on our player and add the property player. Alright, this is good. Before we continue though, we need to actually make it so that once our enemy collides with our player, the enemy is going to respawn somewhere. So let's do spacebar and then add an empty. Let's make it a cube. Let's move it up, and I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to rename this as, and let's rename this empty that we just added as spawn points. Alright. Now what we're going to do is go inside our script, and let's have if collision with the player is, if there is a collision with the player, so if collision got positive, like that, what we want it to do is actually set the position of the cube of our enemy object to the empty object. So let's get the empty object into the script by importing the scene. So bg.logic.getCurrentScene, like that. Let's get that spawn point object in by going spawn point is going to equal scene.objects spawn points, like that. All right. So what we're now going to do is if collision.positive, we're going to have own.worldPosition is going to equal spawn points.worldPosition. Alright, so if we hit play now, we can see that once he hits, he's going to move over there. And if we add multiple enemies, like so, I'm going to make one back here, one up close, just like that. So we can see, one at a time, they're all going to spawn. Alright guys, that's all I have for now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. But for the time being, thanks for watching and have a good day.